The start of a new season brings renewed optimism and new faces, but the end goal always remains the same: competing for a national title. The Sun Devils begin their quest this weekend, hosting the University of Utah Utes on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube. Next.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube. My name is Niall Cooper. My partner is Brett Vaughn, and we are excited to bring you another night of some exciting men's Division I ice hockey here in Oceanside Ice Arena. Brett, tonight the second game between Utah and Arizona State. Last night, Arizona State comes out of the gates, and they shell-shock the Utes with a big first period, and it plays over the whole course of the game. What really impressed you about the hot start last night for Arizona State?
For Arizona State, I thought throughout the whole game it didn't really feel in jeopardy that they were going to lose it at all to Utah. They were doing well, playing a good north to south game, chipping pucks off glass, not trying to be too fancy, managing the puck really well, and ended up getting the victory.
They certainly did, and unfortunately the other end of the ice, the Utes were on the receiving end of that. Not exactly the night that they thought was going to occur after a good start. They won Thursday night, rather, against GCU. And what do you think Utah's really going to take out of that game last night?
Anytime a team that ends up losing big like Utah did, you're going to want to go ahead and get another opportunity to right those wrongs that happened last night. Luckily for them, they get it tonight here on Saturday, as well as them having to finish out this weekend road trip. They want to drive back to Utah and make sure that, hey, we put in a good effort, a good hard 60 minutes, so ASU better watch out for how Utah's going to respond.
We certainly expect an exciting game tonight here, folks. It should be quite the contest as the second game of this two-game series between Arizona State and Utah is underway just around the corner here on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oceanside Arena, home of your Arizona State. First one is the Utes, and coached by Morgan Feely, assistant coach Rob Feely. At right wing, number 9, Luke Bowler. At center, number 41, Brett Arminen. At left wing, number 27, Eric
Welcome back in, folks, as we are just about set for puck drop here in Tempe, Arizona. First, a quick look at our starting goaltenders tonight. In goal for the University of Utah is number 30, Landon Anderson. Anderson 1-0 this season after registering a shutout in a 2-0 victory against Grand Canyon University 2 nights ago. Between the pipes for the hometown Arizona State Sun Devils, it'll be number 31, Dawson Rodin, getting his first start of the season for Arizona State. And Brett, this should be quite a fun matchup tonight. Utah's looking ready to go. Arizona State has out a lot of speedsters to start. And this should be a good one as we're underway in Tempe, Arizona. Utah getting the first chip into the game. Marchand tries to get it out, but Utah will keep that in. Send it into the right corner. And we see Arizona State already trying to get those long Hail Mary clearances that were so successful a night ago. Utah, a quick shot. Rodin doesn't know where it is. Sprawling. The Utes chipping at it, and it goes into the corner. A dangerous chance early for Utah. Music throws that one towards the net from the point, and Rodin will cover up.
Utah already buzzing right at the drop of a hat. We saw how good Arizona State started last night. Utah looking like they're up for the challenge again.
That shot looks like it stung Rodin just a little bit there, Brett. A great recovery by him to get over and make the desperation save. I'm sure head coach Morgan Feeney for Utah was preaching to his team, getting off to a good start tonight. And you can see it in their jump, just as you mentioned, partner. Sun Devils win that draw. Unable to clear it, though, once again, the Utes with a very hard forecheck right now. The Sun Devils finally get it across the red line. Shaw giving chase. That takes a weird bump into the middle of the ice. Plurd couldn't get his shot off. Back on his stick now. Plurd tries to throw one in front through traffic. That deflects behind the net. Shaw causing havoc in front of the blue paint as he'll finish a check. Connor Kruk now, the veteran D-man, takes a hard check right in front of the Arizona State bench. He seems no worse for the wear. And Utah will turn it over in the neutral zone. Both referees see that trip, raise their arms, and the first power play of the game will go to Arizona State.
Tough for Utah. Looks to be heading to the box. Ethan Light, if you tuned into the game last night, he was the one that ended up getting sent off near the end of the game. And really unfortunate because Utah came out in this first 2 minutes and change like the better team and the more hungrier team.
They certainly did. Arizona State weathering the storm, and now they'll have the power play to show for it. Centering this unit for Arizona State, Tyler Kylie Ram. He had 3 points in the game last night. A great showing for him, the sophomore out of Arizona State. That is the other Light brother, Wyatt Light, wheeling in the neutral zone, and Utah will dump it in. Olsen takes a hard check, loses the puck. Then Marchand delivers a hard check, and Arizona State gets it right back. Olsen with his head up, he'll find Marchand. Marchand across the blue line, shoulders off the defenseman, trying to get the puck in front. Ram bats it out of the air, and it's covered up by Anderson, the first shot of the game for Arizona State, and it was a dangerous one.
Beautiful hand-eye coordination by Kylie Ram as he just picked that one up out of the air as Marchand using his wheels like we saw him do last night, the defenseman centering that pass.
Kylie Ram in the circle again, tries to get it to his left winger, Tillman. Tillman with a 4-point night last night here at Oceanside. Lackey fans on a shot. At the point finds Marchand. Marchand will walk it in, look for the shot through traffic. Sticked away by Anderson, and that will float all the way down the ice where Rodin will play it.
Even the aggressiveness is on Utah's penalty kill. That first forechecker coming in really trying to force Arizona State to go one way or the other.
Clayton Lackey on his strong side, tries to rip one short side. The net comes off its moorings, and before the play can continue further, it's blown dead. And we've seen already in this game, Lackey and Kylie Ram on the same line together on the power play. The two players alone accounted for 6 points last night in that 7-2 victory for Arizona State. Studioso now on a strong side. He'll win the draw. Kick back to the point. Flirted with it now. Swings it over to Studioso. Back to the point. The one-timer through traffic. That goes whistling just wide of the net off the stick of Matthew Young. That puck gets chipped up into the netting, and we have another stoppage with 37 seconds remaining in the man advantage. And that was deemed to have gone off of an Arizona State stick, so the faceoff will come out into the neutral zone, and Utah will win that. Braden Shaw giving chase. Plurd seals the wall, and Utah can't clear it. Shaw still giving chase. A great job to get that puck back, and Arizona State on it in the offensive zone. Studioso, under duress, blindly throws it to the point, and Utah coming back the other way. Short-handed Young. Can't get the stick on the puck. And Utah, great job killing off time there, as Landa Kusick will just about do it for the rest of this power play for Arizona State. Derry Berry throws that one into the slot, and here come the Utes the other way. With speed, Music takes a hard check but gets it in the corner. Landa Kusick back after it. Kruk takes a hard ride. And the Utes will keep it in the blue line ever so briefly. They'll be forced to dump it back in. 3 minutes and change gone here in the first period. 0-0 still the score. Utah will push it in across the blue line. And the Sun Devils get it in the offensive zone. Onside's a quick shot coming in off of his weak side. Anderson makes the save, as it was Doucette who snuck in there behind the defense, almost completely unnoticed, and got a great chance.
Beautiful breakout by Arizona State. Again, showcasing that north to south play. Tillman, not only a goal scorer, he's also a great teammate. He ends up getting the puck in the neutral zone. He saw his line mate Doucette driving in hard. He just chips it off the glass. Not a fancy pass, but an opportunity was gotten from that.
Lackey in the corner, giving chase. Coming in to give help was Arabian, but the Utes will break it out. Olsen in his skates, just digging away at it. And here comes Kylie Ram. His pass just a little off the mark. And Utah emerges with the puck. Maybe a 2-on-1 in front of the net. Toe dragging, a quick shot, and Rodin will seal that one up, as it was Giboney who got off a nice wrist shot inside the faceoff dot.
The way Utah's come out right now kind of reminds me of how an away team has to ride out the first 5 minutes and change against the home opponent when they come out with so much speed and momentum with the crowd, but it's almost the opposite tonight, where Utah's the one that's more on the front foot.
Utah certainly dictating the pace of play so far in this one. And they're back on it in the offensive zone. Sharp angle shot, goes wide. On it now is Cooch. Cooch plays it behind his net, almost turns it over. And now back on it is Urtis. Urtis button hooks in the corner, gets it all the way to the blue line, tries to throw it to that left defenseman, Dix. But Clayton Lackey with a good stick, and he'll just dump that puck out and take a check. And you can almost feel, Brett, the energy beneath us on the bench, not quite the same as it was last night. As that will be covered up by Anderson for a stoppage. Penalty being assessed here. And it will be the captain, Dylan Dix, headed to the box for his second slashing minor in as many nights. The second penalty already in just the first 5 minutes and change of this first period for Utah, as they've come out very aggressive. Arizona State will look to take advantage. They win the draw. The shot from Studioso, no traffic in front, and Anderson will glove that one down easily.
Utah head coach Morgan Feeney has to be beside himself, as his team, even strength 5-on-5 play, have been the one that's been applying the pressure to Arizona State, but they just keep hampering themselves with these slashing penalties, undisciplined penalties that are really unneeded.
Plurd wins it to his winger. Back to Studioso. He'll go down low to Shaw. Shaw trying to protect the puck. He gets some help from Plurd. Plurd behind the net, throws one in front. Now Studioso rips one just wide of the net. Anderson couldn't see it through the traffic. Arizona State keeps it in at the blue line. Plurd will cycle it down low to Shaw. Shaw up to Studioso. Kruk providing the screen in front of the net. Studioso wanted the shot. Plurd didn't like the pass, and he'll like to go back down low. Matthew Young waiting for that puck, but it caught a bit of a slow spot on the ice. Sun Devils forced to regroup quickly from behind. Shaw back up to Young. Young looks for a shot deflected by Plurd. That one goes wide of the net. Studioso now on the half wall takes a hard check, and that skips up off the glass and out of play.
Great puck movement by Arizona State, but even better penalty killing by Utah. They kept the Sun Devils on the outside of the offensive zone, outside of where those two face-off dots you see, keeping them out of the house. That's a dangerous area in the slot. Utah killed almost half the penalty.
A great job avoiding the danger areas. Utah is forcing Arizona State mostly to the outside so far. Clayton Lackey seals the defenseman against the wall. Olsen comes in to give some help, as does Kylie Ram. Utah keen to just eat away some time, and they'll get this sent all the way down the ice. Marchand breaks it out. Across the red line, across the blue line, he'll stop up. Sun Devils are on sides. Marchand over to Lackey. Lackey head fakes, back to Marchand. Over to Lackey. Back to Marchand. Winds up, passes, a one-timer, and a great save by Anderson. And the Utes will clear it once again. Rodin with a nice up pass. Front of net, Kylie Ram all alone, and Anderson with another save. At the tail end of the power play, Anderson being tested left and right and standing tall for the Utes.
Great team play on that breakout. Dawson Rodin not just there to stop pucks, he's there to move them too. Made a great far ice pass to Clayton Lackey, and Lackey was able to find a streaking Kylie Ram all alone, but a big stop by Anderson.
3 seconds remain on the man advantage. Arizona State will have to be careful of the guy coming out of the box. And Marchand will smartly just play it into the corner and back up in the neutral zone to play free safety, if you will. He gets back in on it now. The deflection in front off the shot. And Anderson swallows that one up as Marchand ripped one. And it was Connor Tillman who got a good deflection off.
Although Arizona State didn't get any goals on that power play, there are definitely some positives you can take away from it, especially on the 5-on-5 play, halting that momentum of Utah, of how well they've been doing 5-on-5 with that power play for 2 minutes, kind of putting Utah's lines out of a rhythm.
Anderson, another save off the stick of Franklin. In the corner it goes once again. And the Utes emerge with the puck. Run in front of the net as it was intercepting the puck, Derryberry. Connor Tillman button hooks at his own blue line, but loses the poke. Muller waits for reinforcements, throws one in front of the net. Rodin waffle boards that one into the corner. The Utes come back with it. At the blue line, a wrist shot right into the bread basket, and Rodin covers that one up.
Great pace game, though, already in this first period, similar to last night. I didn't really have too many whistles on Friday. Kind of similar for tonight.
Yeah, you certainly didn't get too many chances to take a breath last night, partner. And I guess the theme continues here as they want you spelling me clearly as this game goes on. ASU just chips it all the way down the ice. Noonan trying to up pass to Langenbrunner. Sun Devils foil that breakout. And Pond will restart. Pond across the red line. Over to Landakusik. Landakusik walks in, tries to fire one, blocked by Kruk. Landakusik still on it behind the net as Kruk gives chase. Studioso comes in, lays the check. Kruk lays the check, and Plurd emerges with the puck. Plurd goes east to west, finds Studioso. Across the line, Studioso with his head up into the slot, and that shot from Shaw as he was falling down a little off balance, and it ski balls up into the netting.
Unfortunate for Shaw. Great job by Studioso entering the offensive zone, just delaying, waiting for one of his line mates to get open for him. He did find Shaw, but Shaw just ended up going on his body, on his back foot, and shooting that one over.
Nine minutes gone here in the first period. 0-0 still the score. A little bit of a different story from last night's game as the Utes have come out with a purpose. Light across the line on sides, drops it. Rodin with a save. Arizona State active in the defensive zone. They can't get the puck though. Light squirts its way back to the blue line. Back on the stick of Light. Light, the speedy forward in the corner. Spinoramas, gets some help as Marchand gives chase. Studioso has the puck. Throws it up the middle. That goes off Plurd, no icing, and the Sun Devils will get a change. Dix feeds it to his partner, Music. Mickle will tip that one in, and now the Utes will get a change. Long up pass intercepted by Brickley. Poking it back into a streaking Erdis, but he couldn't quite get to the puck. Erdis back on it now. Sidesteps the defenseman. 2-on-1 for the Utes. Erdis throws one in front, just a little behind his man. As it was Ethan Light looking for the shot in front. Erdis back on it behind the net. To Light in the slot. And that save by Rodin on the half wall now. Back on it is Erdis. To Light. Back to Erdis. Toe drags. Loose at the point, and the Utes will keep it in. Jackson giving chase, and he can't quite keep it in. The Sun Devils will push that out into the neutral zone.
Credit to Utah here in these last few minutes of them still being sharp on 5-on-5 play. Tape-to-tape passes quick. Nobody's holding the puck for too long.
Taking a hard check behind the net for Arizona State was Franklin. Franklin back on it now. Manages to get it up the boards, just out of the reach of Kylie Ram. Sun Devils having a little bit of trouble getting out of their own zone right now, as the Bolt will chip that off the half wall up into the neutral zone. Back on Landakusik. Loses the puck briefly, throws it in front, sticked away by Rodin behind the net. Franklin from the seat of his pants gets a little bit of help. That's pushed up by Kylie Ram to the point. Shot by the Utes into the corner. Landakusik back on it. Landakusik wheels behind the net. With his head up, tries to throw one in front. Takes the funny deflection behind the net. Quick shot, short side, and that one, Rodin had it covered. As the puck hits the outside of the net, the Sun Devils back on it. DeBolt up to Lackey. Lackey gets his feet moving across the blue line. Lackey fakes the stop up. Now does stop, goes back up the half wall. Throws that one to the point, just out of the reach of the Ute. And Connor Kruk will just send that one back in. This game has a little bit more of a gritty feel to it so far. The Utes really giving Arizona State a hard ride here in the first period. As we're more than halfway gone, still no score. Young will gain the red line, dump it in. Derryberry gives chase. Picking up a Studioso. To the point, deflected in front. Anderson with another save. Tillman couldn't quite reach that puck, and the Utes come back the other way. With some speed, number 9 Muller into the slot. One-timer, and Rodin gets a stick down to deflect that out of play.
First stoppage we've had, it feels like, in the last 2 or 3 minutes. And I'd like for Arizona State to get back to the meat and potatoes of their game. Utah's doing a great job of taking away time and space, especially trying to break out of Arizona State's zone. And so it's not going to be a perfect pass every time. Just, again, you want to go north-south with it, just chip it off the glass. fight your battles another day.
Marchand absorbs the check, gets it to his D partner. Olsen back up to Marchand. Marchand another check. The Utes being very physical so far in this first period, and it seems to be paying dividends so far. Anderson couldn't handle the puck behind his own net. Sun Devils will turn it over though. Utes finally push that through the neutral zone. A lot of turnovers so far between the two blue lines, Brett. Not much going either way offensively. Some of the best chances so far tonight have come for the Utes off of broken plays or turnovers at the ASU blue line. That one's sent in, and the Utes will go for a partial change. First one on the puck is Mickle. Mickle getting a hard ride from Franklin. Lackey comes in to help out. He'll get the puck. Back behind the net, Kylie Ram for Arizona State. As he surveys his options, a nice pass to Franklin. Franklin up to Lackey. Ram Beaver clapping. He wants the puck, and just squirting away off the edge of his stick was Cooch. As he had his head up, he was looking to find Ram on the back post. Cooch comes in, lays the body, a big check there. But the Utes come back the other way. Light with speed, trying to go around Kruk. Light pushes it in front. Rodin with another save. As that speed of Light offered a great chance for the Utes. Kruk up to Lackey. And Kylie Ram will slow things down back in his own end.
It's been an entertaining one to watch, although no goals have been scored in the first period, unlike last night. It's been entertaining end to end.
And that will be in offsides. You can see the confidentiality so far here tonight, Brett, and Tyler Kylie Ram, as he's really feeling himself every time he's on the ice.
I was able to talk with him during the Maroon and Gold game, and this is his second year coming into the program. He felt a lot more comfortable, as well as when I was mentioning his name to head coach Austin Klein. He's a guy that he circled on somebody that's going to propel forward into his college career.
And it's always nice when you can get the quality transfers that Arizona State's got. You have the likes of Marchand, Olsen, and others, but then to have someone come up that saw limited minutes last year in Kylie Ram, but to really emerge, especially last night, and the confidence he's had so far tonight, you love to see it. Just out of the reach of Hammett. Back to Marchand. Very cagey in the neutral zone between these two teams. Not a whole lot of clean zone entries. The Sun Devils will pick it up though now. Skating behind the net is Schultz. Back up to the point to Marchand. Swings it over to Olsen. Olsen doesn't like the shot, waits, throws one behind the net. Marchand activates from the left point, gets in there. Throws one into the slot, nobody there though, and the Utes will bring it back the other way. Light trying to sidestep around Olsen. Light gets a hard ride in the corner. As he and Olsen get familiar with each other. Sun Devils, meanwhile, will chip it the other way, giving chase to Schultz. Just out of his reach as Dix gets to it first. Dix headmans it up to Light. Light delays across the blue line, looks for a shot. Rodin aggressively gets on top of the blue paint, and he'll make the save. Arizona State turns it over. The Utes back on it. They'll chip it in behind the net with speed. Trying to skate that out is DeBolt. Loses the handle for a moment, and it's still in the Arizona State end. Squirting across the blue line where Studioso can now bring it ahead. In the offensive zone, Studioso back on the puck now. Squirts around the defender but loses the puck. And Landon Kusick will backhand one off the half wall. And forward, bringing it in now is Pond. Pond trying to get past Young. And he'll push it down low where Landon Kusick can get back after it. Pond comes in, lays a check. But it's Braden Shaw with the puck. As he finds it to Studioso. Studioso across the blue line. Squirts over to Plurd. Plurd forklifts that one into the corner, just evading the low-hanging ceiling here at Oceanside. But no one can get on it for Arizona State. Off the leg of Landa Kusick will wave off the icing as he gives chase. But it's the Sun Devils throwing one all the way up to Studioso. Unfortunately, at the end of a shift, he'll just dump it all the way down.
Again, very impressed tonight at the quality of hockey we're seeing from both teams. Competitive, both teams trying to fight for loose pucks in the corners. Great to watch.
Olsen takes a hard check, turns it over. In with speed now for the Utes is number 17, Donovan, as he'll push it back down low. Muller feeds it around, works his way back up to the point. Through traffic, wide off the half wall, and Rodin will cover it. As you can see, Noonan was looking for a little 1990s era Detroit Red Wings play, throwing it off the dasher.
Utah, it's not the first time they've been to this great old building here at Oceanside Ice Arena. And make no doubts about it, both teams want to know the dimensions of the arena, know how the boards work, how lively they are. Noonan there, again, he purposely wasn't going to go ahead and shoot it directly at the goaltender, Rodin. He was looking for that bounce behind him.
This time he will fire it on directly, but Rodin, with no traffic, was able to easily push that one away. Marchand on it for Arizona State with his head up. He'll sky one, far right wing, and Olsen will push it in, just avoiding a big check. Doucette gives chase. Still on is Doucette. Connor Tillman helping him out, and the Utes will just have to fire that one into the neutral zone, where Arizona State will regroup once again. A minute 20 remaining here in the first period. Lots of shots for both teams, but nothing in the way of really high-quality chances. Lots of turnovers. So we saw one right there, and the Utes will just send it back in. Rodin will come out to play it as we're inside the final 60. DeBolt spinoramas. Encouraged to move his feet. DeBolt gets his head up, finds Tillman. Tillman tries to get cheeky at his blue line, almost turns it over. Now Studioso will stop up, wait for Tillman. Coming over to help out is Franklin. He'll get it back to his D partner, DeBolt. Through the neutral zone, that's deflected in, no icing. And the first one after it's Studioso, as he has reinforcements coming a little bit late. And the Utes a chance to push it up. Across the blue line, Erdis with speed. Erdis the shot, and Rodin gets his glove up and deflected that one up into the netting. A great scoring opportunity for Erdis late in this first period.
Erdis waited out the goaltender, Rodin. Rodin went butterfly style on his knees, allowing an opportunity to try to beat him over the shoulder, and Erdis just rang that one off the crossbar.
17.6 left here for the Utes to try to get something going off the draw. They win it, one-timer goes whistling wide of the net. Off of the set play, that was number 18, Evan Richards, firing one just wide. Kruk trying to clear it now. Shaw will backhand it between his legs. As the final seconds will tick off here in the first period. A cagey yet exciting first period here for both teams. Brett, you mentioned in the pregame that Utah was going to need to come out strong tonight, and I think they did just that.
Absolutely, especially 5-on-5, they set the tone. Arizona State took them a little bit to get their sea legs underneath them, but once they did, they were able to go ahead and match the intensity from Utah. But all in all, it's been an exciting hockey game in this first 20 minutes of play.
Very exciting hockey game, as it is Utah leading on the shot clock 12-11, but the score remains tied at 0-0 at the end of 20 minutes here in Tempe, Arizona. Folks, we'll be right back with second period action here and a quick 15 minutes on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube.
The start of a new season brings renewed optimism and new faces, but the end goal always remains the same: competing for a national title. The Sun Devils begin their quest this weekend, hosting the University of Utah Utes on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube. Next.
Welcome back, folks, here in the Oceanside Ice Arena, as the second period is just around the corner here between Arizona State and the visiting University of Utah Utes. I'm Niall Cooper. My partner is Brett Vaughn. And Brett, maybe the first period we expected to see up here, but I think Arizona State a little caught off guard by just how hard Utah came out of the gates.
Absolutely. I think tonight we're seeing what Utah's really capable of. And Arizona State took them a little bit to get going, but luckily for them, they were able to. And we have an even game, just like similar to how the play's been on the ice, even between both teams.
Very much so, as the teams only separated by a shot at this point. Double-digit shots for both teams in that first period. 11 for Arizona State, 12 for University of Utah. Utah has their sights set on trying to get a split here tonight before they head home. And they'll have a quick chance to regroup and recover, because next on the docket they'll be going to UNLV. Certainly a tough test in and of itself. But if they can get their hands on a win here tonight, they'll maybe feel a little bit better about themselves before that two-game series. Ice still a little wet, but we're underway here at Oceanside Ice Arena. As Marchand feeds it up, Ram takes a hard check. Ram back on it now, building up some speed through the neutral zone, across the blue line. Ram will slow down, and he tries to find Cooch coming in late. Cooch trying to throw into the back door. Olsen gets it off a deflection. Lackey looking for a quick little sidestep around the defenseman. Not falling for it, however, was Gibney. And the Utes will skate out of their own end. Across the red line, into the offense zone for the Utes. Olsen will be the first of the puck, though, for Arizona State. And Ram skates it across the blue line, maybe a 2-on-1. Ram to Lackey. Lackey, the shot, he scores! Clayton Lackey with the first goal of the night here at Oceanside Ice Arena. And it's 1-0 Arizona State.
Man, even shot the water bottle off. That's how of a precise shot Clayton Lackey just had. Look how excited he is as well, trying to get the crowd, trying to get his teammates into it. Arizona State striking first.
And I think we can almost make a guaranteed bet, Brett, that Sally that he had is going to make it into the hype video for next week.
We have to see as feel bad for the goaltender for Utah, Anderson. He's going to have to get a fresh bottle of water stat. Hopefully it wasn't any of that Gatorade. It might be sticky behind the net.
Arizona State jumping out to a 1-0 lead here. A very well executed 2-on-1 by Ram and Lackey. As Arizona State wants to continue this trend of offense. Plurd picks it up in the slot. Connor Tillman, the first one after it. And he'll elect to keep possession and just throw it back in the neutral zone. A smart play by Tillman given the lengthy change that the Utes will have to undergo here in the middle frame. Studioso, first to the puck, throws it in front. Anderson never saw it coming. Luckily for the Utes, no one in front of the net. Plurd to Studioso, in front of Tillman, and his shot, he whiffs on it, back to the point. Off the half wall, Plurd throws it in front, and just off the side netting. The Utes trying to clear it, Arizona State still on the puck. Tillman, up at the point, up top to Young through traffic, and he scores! Brendan Studioso with a beautiful deflection, and just like that, 2 goals in 2 minutes for Arizona State, and they're up 2-0.
Looked like Clayton Lackey got his team excited as the next line that rolled out there for Arizona State was bringing the passion and heart as much as Lackey's line did. And it was a great job by Arizona State keeping possession of the puck, winning loose puck races, had a few shots into the center of the slot. Nobody there, but it was finally put home. Nothing special, just a point shot in, and it was a nice tip by Studioso.
Brendan Studioso with a big goal to open this up. A 2-0 lead now for Arizona State. Utah certainly a little shocked after a great first period by them. They couldn't get anything past Dawson Rodin, and the Sun Devils finally find the offensive touch here to open the second period. Utah wants to skate it out now. Intercepted by Marchand. Marchand skates it down low behind the net. Circling around, throws one short side. That shot caught Anderson off guard, but just missed the net. Now Utah skating it back the other way with speed. Urtis a 2-on-1. Toe drags the shot, and Rodin. A big save on Urtis as he toe dragged right past Marchand and got a great shot off in the slot. As it's getting a little bit physical now in front of the net, you saw Dawson Rodin a little unhappy with the Utes in his blue paint. And Brett might be the best scoring chance of the game here for the Utes, coming off the heels of that second Arizona State goal.
And you see there's a little kerfuffle in the crease of Arizona State goaltender Dawson Rodin. Be interested to see if that's Utah feeling they're reeling a little bit after those 2 quick goals from Arizona State to start the period to maybe get themselves into it, or possibly to maybe bait Arizona State to go ahead and be a little overly aggressive and take a penalty either way. It was a great chance by Light, getting around Marchand, and now they're going to have an offensive zone draw, the first in this period.
Langenbrunner will be in the circle for Utah, up against Tyler Kiley Ram. Utah will win that. Landon Kusick tries to get a shot through traffic, blocked away. Olsen in the corner for Arizona State, slows it down. Ram helps out. The Utes, however, will get it back to the point. Langenbrunner tries to knock that down. Swept around and off the half wall. Cooch will try to clear it unsuccessfully. The Utes back in the slot. A pass and a shot. Just whiffing on that was Langenbrunner. And Arizona State now a chance to break it out of their own end. Marchand can't handle the pass. And Landon Kusick will chip it in past Rodin. Rodin slows it down, comes out of his net to play it. As he feeds Marchand. A little too hot to handle for Marchand, and the Utes back on in the corner. Landon Kusick pushes it up to the point, intercepting it is Cooch. And the Utes will have to tag up. Cooch, the puck caught in his skates a little bit there, and he'll just elect to dump it in. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. Both teams getting a full change. And a hard check laid there right at the blue line by Arizona State. That was Jason Hammett, who did a great job working the camera for us last night, Brett. And unfortunately, he'll take a seat just below us here in the penalty box for 2 minutes.
Yeah, he was working the shoulders last night up here in the press box. End up getting that shoulder just a tad too high. It's really tough, though. It was a quick bang-bang play as that puck just came to the Utah player, and Hammett had to react quickly to brace himself to try to go ahead and for the check. You could see that call going either way there. But in this case, Utah's going to be the benefactor.
And that check seemed more than anything to catch the Utah forward off guard. And I think it was the way that he went down that really caught the referee's eye. Nonetheless, Arizona State will have to kill off the first power play here for Utah in the second period. To the right of Dawson Rodine is the face-off. To the left for everyone watching on YouTube. And Plurd will get it out of the zone. Plurd across the blue line, stops up. And he was looking for a man, but lots of Utes giving chase, and they'll get the puck back behind their own net. Plurd a great job early on the PK. And the Utes skate it back out from their own end. Light across the blue line to Erdest. He'll backhand it in. And Arizona State will send it all the way out. Brendan Studioso in on a breakaway. Studioso, he scores! Brendan Studioso, his second goal of the period. Short-handed on a breakaway. And it's 3-0 Arizona State.
Beautifully done by Brandon Studioso. Got to give kudos to the defenseman, though. One of the veterans on the back end, Jack Hosworth, out there killing penalties. Ends up doing a hard rim play. Beats the Utah player trying to keep the puck in. And Studioso reading it in the neutral zone. Knew the puck was going to be coming to him towards the Arizona State bench. Picks it up, outweights the goaltender Anderson, and puts it in on the backhand.
Speed personified there by number 6, Brendan Studioso, as he was able to beat the entire Utah team back to that puck as it rimmed around the boards. And he made no mistake there. I believe that might have even been the signature triple deke, Brett, as he went ultimately to his backhand to get that one high past the goaltender Anderson. And Arizona State sending this one down, a textbook penalty kill if you could ever write one up.
Somewhere Charlie Conway smiling down upon the Brandon Studioso. That was an unbelievable move. Great patience.
Great PK continues here for Arizona State as we're down to 30 seconds remaining in the power play for Utah. Olsen will send that one all the way back down. And I think the wind has fully been taken out of the sails of the Utes, as in the first 5 minutes and change of this second period, Arizona State's put 3 past Utah. One of the veteran forwards for the Utes, Landon Kusick, would love to get something going for his visiting team. He'll swing it around. Pond keeps it alive. At the point, Armanen through traffic in front. And Pond couldn't find it. Utah keeps it alive. Langenbrunner now, a shot. Oh my goodness, it went off the post. It looked like it went bar down. I thought it was in. The referee says no goal and we play on. A one-timer shot, that goes all the way out. Langenbrunner can't believe it. And it still zeros up on the board for Utah. Arizona State on the puck. Tillman looking to find Studioso. Studioso to the point, coming in just a little bit late there was DeBolt. DeBolt trying to slow down Utah. They come back the other way. Another turnover at the blue line. Studioso just avoiding a hard check. And it's Tillman who will play it back to DeBolt. DeBolt over to Franklin. He'll forklift one off the glass. The Utes break it back in. Throw it in front of the net, nobody there. Activating from the point. Light. Arizona State behind their own net, though. They'll break out with the puck. Tillman with speed. Tries to sauce one forward gently. Just out of the reach of his forward. Not able to keep it in there was Doucette, and the Utes come back the other way. Forehand, backhand through the slot. Rodine forces that one back into the corner, as it was Muller trying to get a shot off on his backhand. A hard check laid onto Derryberry by number 6 Logan Jackson for the Utes. Derryberry comes back, gives a check of his own. Arizona State creates a turnover. Tillman throws one, deflected into the corner. Noonan off the half wall as Arizona State gets a partial change, but it's the Utes coming back the other way. And the Utes just go offside, much to the dismay of Eric Gibney, as he button hooks around Dawson Rodine and lets him know that would have been a great chance.
Really unfortunate for Utah. We look back at the first period. Erdis rang one off the crossbar. This time it was Langenbrunner for Utah just a few minutes ago. And you have to be thinking, if you're a Utah player right now, that you're getting opportunities, you're just really not getting the luck so far.
Shots even at 15-15 right now. Arizona State with a little bit more of that finishing touch that we saw last night, rearing its head here in this middle frame. Looking for more. Derryberry tries to throw one into the middle to Kylie Ram. Just a little out of his reach, and the Utes come back the other way. Trying to sidestep the defenseman was Donovan. That kept in at the point. Back in on it, Donovan. Marchand emerges with the puck for Arizona State, and they'll skate it the other way. Derryberry gains the red line to Kylie Ram. Ram in all alone, and a save by Anderson. A very important save by him to keep this game within reach.
When we look at both teams have been playing, if we're trying to base the score off of how both teams were playing, it's pretty even. But for Utah, they just switched off at the start of this second period, and that might be the difference as we look to see how this game voyages throughout the evening, of Arizona State taking advantage of Utah not being ready to go at the start of the period.
Arizona State certainly ready to play at the start of this period, as they look for more right here. Marchand at the point, doesn't like what he sees, gives it to Olsen. Olsen down low to Doucette. He'll rotate around, feeds it to Cooch. Cooch pivots in the corner, takes a hard check, and now Light on it for the Utes. Light behind his own net to his defenseman, who can't get that pass out. Doucette the first one there for Arizona State. Activating from the point, trying to keep it alive is Marchand. He cannot, and it's a one-on-one back the other way for the Utes. Light looks for a shot, and he scores! A beautiful shot by number 24, Ethan Light. And that cuts the deficit down for the Utes. It's a 3-1 score.
Utah this time taking a page out of Arizona State's book of just trying to chip it off the glass, go really fast up north, catching Arizona State off guard. And Light, crafty play of being able to use the Arizona State defenseman as a partial screen for Rodine. He was unable to pick up that wrist shot release from Light, and ends up being a 3-1 lead for Arizona State now.
The Utes finally get a goal after a lot of great work so far tonight. And now they're looking for more. Landa Kusick in the corner. He'll emerge with it. Tries to make a swift move to the front of the net. Broken up by DeBolt. The Utes still on it. Landa Kusick around the net, trying to get the wrap. Rodine gets across from post to post. Kept alive now at the point. Thrown back in. Landa Kusick after it. Langenbrunner on the puck now. Dawson Rodine raising his arm, though, and we will get a whistle. That same net that's been oh so pesky so far last night and tonight comes off the moorings once again.
Hockey can sometimes be a game of bounces. And for Utah, again, I've thought especially 5-on-5, they've been the slightly better team. And it was just those few minutes that they switched off in that second period of what makes them have to climb back into this game.
Just past the midway point of this game, and the Utes finally starting to find their footing. As we talked about it in the pregame, Ethan Light a little bit of trouble last night, penalty-wise, making amends for that with a very well-timed goal here for the Utes. Pond shovels that one into the corner. And once again, the net off the moorings. The Utah bench not too happy. The second time this has happened in the midst of a cycling shift in the offensive zone for the Utes.
Yeah, it's this net down here on the side where Utah defends twice, or any visiting team in the hockey game, and might have been something we saw last night where maybe the Utes were possibly doing a little more. Arizona State ends up happening to them now.
Shot from the point deflected and pushed just wide of the net. The Utes still on it offensively. A great few minutes for Utah. Arizona State will try to slow things down a little bit, but that will be an icing off the stick of Connor Tillman. Tillman looking very tired, was just hoping to get to the bench. And a great chance here for the Utes with an offensive zone draw.
Absolutely is. The puck has been down in the Arizona State end after that goal from Light.
Plurd wins the draw. Studioso on the half wall with it. He'll send that one up into the roof. And while it isn't an icing, there is no change afforded here to Arizona State. Studioso arguing with the ref, saying that he should be allowed a change hitting the roof. The linesman and referee now in the Arizona State defensive end talking things over. And Brendan Studioso wins his case, as Arizona State will get that full change on the ice. And maybe some of the best lawyer work I've seen, Brett, by Brendan Studioso since the last episode of She-Hulk.
Yeah, he might not have the moves of She-Hulk, but he maybe has the negotiating skills. Is also, too, got to give credit to the linesman and the referee of having a consultation and figuring out that was the right rule to let him change.
Utah still on it offensively, however. And that shot sticked away by Rodin. Loose, and the first one to it is Utah. Arizona State will push it past the defenseman. Arizona State with speed and numbers in the offensive zone. Into the slot, trying to whip one around and pass it was Derryberry. Back up to the point now. Hosworth fakes the shot over to his deep partner. That one thrown on, and Anderson will swallow it up. A little bit of physicality ensuing in front of Anderson as he got spun around after making the save.
I saw these guys, this line in the first period with Phillips, Hammett, and Schultz. And they've done a really good job of not spending too much time in their own end, but also too hustling, winning puck battles, and being very direct with the puck, either going hard to the net or kicking it back up to the point for a point shot, getting in the way of the opposing goaltender. They've done a great job so far.
Physicality picking up, body starting to hit the floor here at Oceanside. The Utah bench loving it, and they'll come back the other way. A one-on-one for Utah. And Rodin has to make an athletic save with his paddle off of that quick chance, courtesy of number 23, McKay Pond.
Yeah, Rodin was hugging up close to his left post. I think he was thinking the Utah player, Pond, was going to go short side with it. But instead he elects to go far side, and Rodin just flexes out that right leg.
My apologies to number 29, Benjamin Mickle. That was his shot there from the right face-off dot that Rodin had to make the save on. Lackey pushes it across the blue line for Arizona State. Dix and the Utes will get that one across the red line and just dump it in, no icing. Marchand for Arizona State, first on the puck. The Utes cause a turnover, pick it up on the half wall. Short angle shot. Rodin makes the save. The puck loose in front of the net. Rodin covers it. And now things getting very physical in front of Rodin as he's the most recent goaltender to get knocked down. Jules Donovan creating a good chance out of nothing as he spun around and just threw one towards the net. Things continue to get a little bit more physical minute by minute here, Brett.
Rodin, no worse for the wear as he's getting back up on his feet and We still have a couple Utah players near the Arizona State crease. And it looks to be we're going to be actually 2 players hitting the box as well, maybe 1 from each team. Looks the referees saying that both players want to talk, and if they want to talk, they can do it in the penalty box to each other. And as both teams switch their lines out, it's going to be some 4-on-4 action we'll have.
And some great work by the officiating crew, doing a good job to keep this game in check right now and not let it get too out of hand, as it will be Cade Olson and Wyatt Light sitting for Arizona State and Utah respectively for 2 minutes. A little 4-on-4 action. And given the extra space on the ice sheet right now and the long change, Brett, if you start to get a good shift going in this 4-on-4 situation, it could really pay some dividends.
For how open the play has been 5-on-5, I expect the play 4-on-4 to have some exciting action.
Through traffic, that one a little high off of Ethan Light's stick. Picked up by Brickley. And the Utes trying to dump that one in. That'll go into their own bench, however, and we'll get a stoppage 14 seconds into the 4-on-4. Nice crowd on hand once again tonight for this season opening series for Arizona State in the swan song of a season here for Oceanside Ice Arena. The Utes trying to spoil the party here for Arizona State on opening weekend, however, and get a split. Sun Devils currently up 3-1 as they'll look to get things going on this 4-on-4 opportunity. Young skates it across the blue line, in behind the defense. The Utes will persevere and get the puck. Erdis with speed as the quick forward gets across the blue line, drops it. The shot through traffic. Rodin sticks it up, and the Utah gets right back after it. Trying to switch it across the ice is Erdis. And ultimately it's Kruk behind his own net who will pick it up as Utah gets a partial change behind the play. Tillman. Across the blue line. He'll just dump it in the corner as his fellow forward Plurd will get off the ice. And inside of 60 seconds, not too much going here on the 5-on-5. Dix across the blue line, that shot blocked. Utah picks it back up. Light in the slot, off the bar! And Utah all over it right now. Still pushing ahead. Gibney on the half wall. He sees a man activating, weak side. Keeps possession, cycling into the corner. Gibney back on it, couldn't handle the pass. Now he picks it up. Gibney at the faceoff dot, looks for the shot. Rodin flashes the leather, and we'll get a whistle here with 4 seconds remaining on the dual minors.
Great job from Rodin, just gloving that puck, electing for a faceoff because Arizona State was having some trouble in their own end, trying to communicate who was taking what man in coverage. Ended up allowing Light, who already scored a goal tonight, to release another one dangerously right at the hash mark. Ended up beating Rodin clean. He just, again, rang one off the pipe.
Ram in the circle for Arizona State against Langenbrunner. And Lackey emerges with the puck. Lackey tries to make a cheeky pass beyond Landakusik's reach. And Arizona State caught in just a bad situation there, partner, as their own player stepped out of the box. The puck gets pushed right to him as he skates out of the box. And it's just simple math. He comes out of the box. No one had replaced him on the bench. And Arizona State gets caught playing the puck with 6 men on the ice.
When you're that player in the penalty box, all you're really just trying to focus on is racing back to the bench so you can go ahead and get a change. It was tough because that puck was right at the Arizona State bench, and it's just tempting just to sit out there and touch it.
Bench minor assessed to Arizona State here will give Utah another power play. as Utah looking to get the deficit back to 1 goal here in the latter stages of the second period. Utah pressing. They just had their 3rd post shot of the night. Sun Devils trying to bend but not break. Landed Kusick off the draw. That shot blocked, kept alive. Dix at the point. Surveying his options. Dix pivots, switches to Langenbrunner. On the half wall, Langenbrunner and Landon Kusick switch spots. Back up now to Dix. He'll fire one high, and that one goes up into the netting. A little bit of a knuckle puck action there. Sun Devils calling for a neutral zone faceoff. They are adamant that no one touched that puck. However, the referee coming to the bench, letting Arizona State know any shot that goes off the net stays in that zone. And Utah right back on if they win the draw. Dix to Landon Kusick. Landon Kusick slowing things down, back up to Dix, top of the umbrella. Through traffic, Rodin never saw it, he makes the save. Kept alive by Landon Kusick. Landon Kusick back up to Dix. Over to Landon Kusick, cuts in the middle, the shot. Rodin didn't see that one either, and it gets into the corner. Langenbrunner after it. Langenbrunner gives chase on the half wall, keeps it alive. Back up into the slot. Rodin the save, rebound, thrown in front, another save, and the puck now in the corner. The Utah still with it. 60 seconds gone on the power play. Down low to Landon Kusick. Back up to Armanen. Feeds Dix. Down low to Langenbrunner. He'll walk in, and he saw Landon Kusick sitting there all alone on the back post. The pass just out of his reach. Landon Kusick restarts back in the middle. Nothing going there as Young was in the way. Landon Kusick decides to take a power move to the front of the net, and Rodin will cover it up, and the Sun Devils can now finally get a change.
That's going to be a nice whistle as there's a very tired group of Sun Devils being able to now finally get a breather. And Utah having some success setting up McKay Pond, one of the bigger guys on the Utes roster in front of Rodin. And they've been having some success with those point shots coming through because Rodin has no idea when it's coming, where it's coming from. And Utah getting some good chances.
ASU has a chance to clear that, but Utah keeps it alive. Light didn't like his options, goes back to the point. Now he decides to rip one, and that goes low and wide of the net. Kept in by his brother, Ethan, as he'll go down low. Arizona State picks up the puck. Olsen just eating time along the boards behind Rodin. He'll get some help from Marchand, the 2 defensemen, just trying to kill off the rest of this power play. Studioso now with speed. He'll get it past the defense. Studioso short-handed. Wanted to move that one from his backhand to his forehand. A great defensive stick, however, by number 14, Michael Erdis, denied that chance. Back to 5-on-5 now. After a good power play for Utah, couldn't get anything going. 2-on-1 for Arizona State the other way. Plurd takes a shot. Anderson with a save. Plurd another shot in front. Anderson with another save. And he'll cover with 2:54 left in the second period.
Nice job by Arizona State of being able to be playing heads-up hockey, of noticing Utah was making a late change in the back. There's only one defenseman all the way in the neutral zone, and they were able to exploit that by getting an odd man rush on a 2-on-1 with Plurd getting the shot off.
No one can find the puck. It's back behind the net. Lackey the first one there. In the slot, Kylie Ram couldn't handle the pass. The Utes come back the other way. Skating back quickly to help provide some defensive cover was Cooch. He'll slow down the Utes enough and then pick up the puck himself. Cooch, a nice little backhand toss to DeBolt. DeBolt with speed, activating from the point. We'll throw that one towards the net, and Anderson will just cover.
Cooch had a tough shift in the first period. Could hear him a little frustrated after it, but he did a great job there of knowing that every shift is a new game. And he came out on this shift this time of doing a great job playing a 200-foot game, working hard to get back, harassing the Utah player in the offensive zone, was able to distribute the puck out and allows an offensive zone draw.
Clayton Lackey giving chase, and his effort will create a turnover. Kept in by Kylie Ram, down low to Lackey. in the feet of Kylie Ram. He'll get a hard check in the back, and Landon Kusick emerges with the puck for Utah. A throw-in up to Pond. Pond tries to chip it in behind the defense. Franklin, the first one there. 2 Utes on top of Franklin, though, and they'll try to dig this puck out right behind the net. Big forward Pond emerges with it, sends it back to the point. Back in front to Pond. Landon Kusick trying to dig it out. The Sun Devils will skate it forward, and it comes out of the zone. Pond sticking his foot out, trips up the Arizona State player, no call, and the Sun Devils will wisely go for a change. Young surveying things in his own end as we're down to the final 60 seconds and change of the second period. The Sun Devils, a little miscommunication on that pass. We'll see it be an icing and go all the way back down to a face-off right in front of Dawson Rodine. Both teams battling for it in the neutral zone here. As Arizona State trying to keep this 2-goal lead alive going into the third period. As you hear the PA announcer right there, 60 seconds left in the second period. Rodine comes out to play that. He'll leave it for his defense. Kruk over to Bolt. Rather Young. Kruk back on it now, and Arizona State pushes it ahead. Connor Tillman across the blue line. Tillman a shot. That one caught Anderson a little high, and he'll cover that with 36.9 left.
Interesting. Seemed to me Anderson maybe went down a little too low, and that shot came up high on him as he's now readjusting his mask, but maybe handcuffed him more than anything. He really had to shoulder shrug that left shoulder up to try and pin that against his neck, but he's able to make the save anyway.
Sun Devils with the last change, get out the forward group they want. Studioso in the draw. He'll try to win it. He emerges with the puck. Studioso trying to throw one in front. On the back door, Shaw. Shaw couldn't get that shot off the puck. Just a little slow getting to him. And the Utes come back the other way. Maybe a 2-on-1 for Utah. An active stick by Marchand. Slows that down. No penalty on the call. Marchand emerges with the puck. He'll try to throw one off the glass to get it out. The Utes keep it alive at the blue line. Now across into the neutral zone as we have 10 seconds left in the period. Dix in his own end. He'll elect to take one last clap bomb. And that will be an icing with 3 seconds left exactly on the clock. And maybe, Brett, if you have a good quick play to draw up in the offensive zone, this is it.
It'll be interesting to see who's in the circle for Arizona State. If it is Elliot Plurd, he did a great job last night of winning faceoffs, and looks like Olsen might be the one that's going to be either passing or pulling the trigger if Plurd wins it.
Plurd to Olsen. Olsen throws one towards the net a little high, and that will do it for the second period here at Oceanside Ice Arena. An exciting second period with a little bit of back and forth. Arizona State jumping out in those first 5 minutes and change, Brett, with 3 goals. And credit to Utah, they were able to fight back, not give in to the adversity, and they got one back to make things just a little bit closer going into this final period.
That's the difference right now is the first 5 minutes of the second period. Arizona State did the quick blitz attack of putting up 3 goals, but Utah unlucky for parts of the game as they rang a couple posts, couple crossbars, but credit to them, 5-on-5. I think they've been the better team so far tonight. They're able to finally cash in on the scoreboard, and it's going to be a tight finish for the end of this game.
It certainly will be, and we look forward to bringing you that third period action, folks, as in a quick 15 minutes we'll be back here for the final frame of tonight's game between University of Utah and Arizona State. The Sun Devils up 3-1 here as we go to break on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube.
The start of a new season brings renewed optimism and new faces, but the end goal always remains the same: competing for a national title. The Sun Devils begin their quest this weekend, hosting the University of Utah Utes on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube. Next.
Welcome back in, folks, to Oceanside Ice Arena. My name is Niall Cooper. My partner is Brett Vaughn. And we are about to bring you an exciting final frame here tonight in the second game of a two-game set between visiting University of Utah and the hometown Arizona State Sun Devils. Brett, an exciting second period sets us up for what should be an enthralling third, as Utah really pushing with everything they had there in the later stages of that second period.
Absolutely. Really excited to see how this one's going to turn out. Utah being able to deal with Arizona State early in the period, score later to finish off, and what should be an exciting third period.
Brett, I know pumped for this third period as he got a compliment during the break on how youthful his looks have been. Brett, I know you have a great skincare routine. I might need to pick some of that up after the game. The way this is going, with as exciting as the third period as we should have, I might be pulling my hair out when it's all said and done.
One word: moisturizer.
That shot blocked. Erdis giving chase into the corner now. Tyler Kylie Ram with some help from Olsen. He'll take a hard check from Light as we have our first rugby scrum of the third period. The ice still a little sticky in the corners. We saw that especially down on the east side of the rink behind the now Utah goal. Utah busy working in the offensive end, however, as Marchand tries to skate it out for Arizona State. Almost turned over at the blue line. Kylie Ram makes a nice play, throws it over to Olsen, and he'll elect to just dump it in as the Sun Devils get the first change of the period.
Utah coming out like gangbusters in this opening 60 seconds. I know for sure everybody in the Utah locker room, we're talking, saying that we just need one shot to go in, and we're only down one. They're coming out inspired right now.
First minute gone here in the third period. Light trying to sidestep the forecheck of Arizona State. The Sun Devils get it back. Plurd to Tillman. Tillman, the shot, deflected into the corner. Light after it. And now Erdis with some speed through the neutral zone. Light, rather, as he'll lose it between his skates. Utah still offsides. They'll have to tag up. The Sun Devils will throw it all the way down, though, and they'll give Utah a break as that's an icing.
That's an interesting call there as that pass from the defenseman Young for Arizona State. It was a hard one, might have skipped up over the stick of the intended target, but it was coming directly at the Utah player, and he did try to make a play on the puck, but either way, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Utes.
Utah wins that draw, gets it towards the net. A little off-speed shot there, catches Rodin almost off guard, as he had to make a little bit of an awkward save. The Utes just chip it back in the corner, over the head of Young. He'll just hack it up the half wall to Tillman. Tillman and Studioso after it. Tillman emerges. He'll skate it out. Connor Tillman, 2 goals last night, 4 points in that first game against Utah, as he was our player of the game in the post game. At the end of a long shift, though, he'll just look to get back to the bench. Mickle across the line. Utah onsides. Light with it. Light throws one high, and Rodin gets his hands on that, and he'll cover up. Arizona State looking to secure a nice 2-0 start to begin the season in what will be an even more competitive Western CHL than it usually is. The additions this year of Oregon and San Diego State, as well as the always dangerous UNLV and University of Central Oklahoma teams, will certainly make it difficult for a number of these teams to make it to nationals at the end of the year. Arizona State looking solid to start the season, however, on home ice, as they look for a statement win here. A lot of work to do still before we get to that point, as Utah coming in the offensive zone, looking to get one back. Landon Kusick just throws one on, and Dawson Rodin will easily throw that up into the netting.
It's going to be exciting. Arizona State, after this game next weekend, they're going to be playing that newly promoted team, Oregon, in Eugene, which will be a lot of fun. I remember playing them at the Division II level, known for some of the best jerseys in all of the ACHA.
They certainly are. We saw them come to town with that Division II team a few years ago, Brett, and that was certainly fun to watch. Exciting to see them up here now on the Division I level. And we'll see how long Oregon stays at this Division I level in the ACHA, as I'm sure they have aspirations to make it to NCAA. Sun Devils go offsides here at the 16:30 mark of the third period. A little bit of nervous energy you can kind of feel coming from the Arizona State bench right now. A goal could certainly help quell some of those concerns, as Olsen sidesteps a hard check at the blue line. A nice kick play by Marchand keeps it alive. Clayton Lackey in on it now. Lackey toe drags around the defender, goes behind the net. Lackey back on the puck on the face-off dot, tries to windmill around the defender. Couldn't get past him. Second effort by Cooch keeps it alive. Ram from the point through traffic, and like a shortstop, Anderson will glove that one down and hold on.
It's been a little bit of a stop and start period, as neither team really able to gain some traction or really let the game flow a little bit more with a lot of whistles.
Offensive zone draw. Studioso cannot win it for Arizona State. Utah looked to just clap that out, but Marchand activates from the point, keeps it alive. Studioso now down low. Absorbs a check, gets some help from Marchand, trying to dig it out. Utah swings it all the way around to the far side, their defensive zone, and will elect to just chip it down the ice. That might go all the way for an icing, waved off at the last second by the linesman. Marchand back there, takes a hard ride as he looks towards the referee for a call. Nothing coming. Arizona State the other way. Plurd throws one in front. Trying to knock it down with a little bit of hand-eye was Connor Tillman. A little bit in front of him. Tillman and Plurd after it. Utah pushes it ahead. Studioso with 2 goals tonight. A good job to break that play up. As Young circles back, wants to restart the breakout. Now he will. Young with speed across the red line. In the offensive zone, Young throws it behind the net. Plurd will give chase. Across the blue line, Gibbony pushes it up ahead. Ethan Light with it now. Light, a goal tonight. Not exactly the pass he wanted. And Plurd almost finds a streaking Tillman coming out of his own end. As we're just inside 5 minutes gone here in the third period. Lackey with speed. Landakusic, however, gets on his horse, comes back. Landakusic trips, and Arizona State a quick shot. Anderson pushes it in the corner. Coming late, Kylie Ram in the slot through traffic. That deflected up into the netting. A good chance there, maybe one of the better chances we've seen so far in this period.
For any of the players watching at home, this is a great example of patience by the defenseman for Arizona State, Matthew Young. Sometimes the best play to make with the puck is to not make one and hold on to it. He did a couple of circles in his own zone because he felt pressure from Utah, didn't like what he saw, circled back in his own zone, and that allowed Arizona State a nice clean break in the offensive zone.
Utah looking for a Hail Mary pass to Light. Wyatt Light couldn't handle it. And the Sun Devils will just push it ahead now into the neutral zone where the Utes will have to regroup. Light to Donovan. Donovan wheels through the neutral zone. Chips it in behind the defense. Nobody in on the forecheck, however, for the Utes. And Arizona State a chance to maybe break this out. Franklin switches with Kylie Ram, a little bit of miscommunication. The Utes push it right to the front of the net. Getting a little bit cheeky with it was Light, and the Utes will have to dump it back into the corner. DeBolt behind his own net, reverses. Kylie Ram throws one high, just shaving the top of the ceiling, and that perfectly goes right on net to Anderson. The Sun Devils get a change.
Man, I don't think I get that close of a shave on my own face. That was an amazing job by Kylie Ram to get it just out, but not touching this low ceiling here at Oceanside.
The Utes come right back the other way. Light tries to deke around the defense, and an active stick from Marchand breaks that up. Marchand ahead, pushes through Noonan. A hard collision. Both players get up all right after that one. Slapper right on Anderson. He'll cover with Plurd waiting in the wings. 12:54 remaining here in the third period. Nothing in the way of quality chances for either team really presenting itself so far. Arizona State doing a good job keeping numbers back defensively, making sure not to give up any sort of odd man rushes. Making things difficult for Utah to get anything going offensively. Studioso now looking for a wraparound in front, and Anderson gets the glove down and covers.
That's going to be the name of the game for Arizona State for this last 12 minutes and 47 seconds of the hockey game. You just want to go ahead and nurse that lead. Don't be too overly aggressive. Still be aggressive and try to win loose puck battles, but don't try to commit too many numbers forward.
Off the draw, Utah gets it in the neutral zone. Studioso with a check. Marchand comes back over to Tillman, the shot, and Anderson another save. Arizona State getting a few shots on goal in a row here as they continue to clog things up in the neutral zone and create turnovers.
Utah understanding that Arizona State's trying to play a little more conservatively. It's going to have to recognize that they're maybe not going to have as much open space in the neutral zone to build up speed as they normally would in an even game on the scoreboard.
Studioso takes a hard check in the corner. Plurd comes in to help out. Plurd trips and affords Utah a chance to clear it. However, once again, Arizona State slowing things down, and Utah forced to restart once again. Light, the goal scorer for Utah, brings it in himself. Light trying to get around Marchand. A little bit of trouble getting it out. Erdis comes right back the other way, behind the net. Erdis trying to stop up and jam it back to the near post. Couldn't stop up quick enough. Puck still loose in the corner. Olsen implored after it for Arizona State. Erdis trying his hardest to dig that one out. Referee telling them to move the puck or he'll blow the whistle. Puck squirts out to Plurd now. Rodin comes out to help out his defense. Swings it around for Marchand. As he'll just sky that one into the neutral zone. And both teams will go for a change behind the play. Good speed now, bringing in his Hammett. Hammett rips one high, and Anderson just got a piece of that one. Jason Hammett trying to get his name on the score sheet. Kruk, the first one after it for Arizona State. Puck works his way over to Young. Young up ahead through traffic. Picked up now, brought in by Schultz. Schultz trying to get after it. That puck swung all the way back around in front of the Utah bench. And Schultz coming in with a lot of speed, laying a check. Kruk at his own blue line now laying a check. As this line for the Sun Devils getting physical, another check laid. Utah in the offensive zone now. A tired Sun Devil group will chip that one out. Not far enough for an icing. And the Sun Devils will get a partial change. Ram not able to keep that in at the blue line. A hard check sends Donovan down to his knees. And the Utes will just get it in quick enough for a line change. Sun Devils trying to take advantage. And that just chipped in. The pace picking up a little bit here, Brett.
Great shift again by that bottom line for Arizona State.
Not a whole lot of ice time afforded to that fourth line for Arizona State, but making the most of it here when they need to in the third period. Just under 10 minutes remain here in the final frame. Utah pushing to try to even this thing up. Arizona State doing their best to hold on. DeBolt loses that puck at the face-off dot. A little confusion from Utah, and now Arizona State can bring it back out. With speed, Muller. Muller wanted to take the shot, loses handle on the puck. Behind Rodin, now both teams will go after it. The referee has his arm raised, and a poorly timed penalty in the offensive zone for Utah. And going to sit for 2 minutes will be Jet Arminen.
Although Utah's down 2 goals, there's still a lot of time left. 9 minutes and change to come back in this hockey game, and when you go ahead and take offensive zone penalty, that's a definite no-no if you're trying to come back.
And with 9:07 remaining on the clock, Arizona State looking at what could be a key moment in this game if they can score and reopen the lead to 3 goals. Studioso off the draw, rips a knuckle puck, saved by Anderson. It's loose, and the referee losing sight of the puck, much to the dismay of Connor Kruk as he skated over to that loose puck and had a chance to throw it on net.
Arizona State ended up winning that draw cleanly and applied the pressure there, as there's a lot of commotion in front of Anderson.
Plurd in the circle for Arizona State. They win it. Studioso walks the line, walks the line. That pass in front wouldn't go. Young, the puck back up now to Studioso. He'll just clap it behind the net. Shaw throws one blindly in front. Could have been a great play if Kruk got his stick on the puck. That will come all the way out, though, and the Sun Devils restart. Turning over in the neutral zone. And now Utah a chance to kill a little clock. Studioso with his head up. Elects to skate it in himself. He'll take a hard check after dumping it in. Plurd the first one there for Arizona State. Plurd up to Young. Young at the point, walking it in the middle, surveying the scene, throws a wrister. Loose in front, Ram over to Plurd. The shot, and Anderson with a great save, getting that puck up into the netting.
It's tough for a goaltender to move laterally, especially when he's trying to kill a penalty. And Anderson, a nice job fronting the shooter. That time it was Plurd for the Sun Devils, and was able to have a strong blocker hand and redirected that one up and out of play.
ASU wins the draw. Along the half wall, both teams digging for it. We'll have a whistle and another offensive zone draw coming for the Sun Devils.
I've also liked the point guys for both of these power play units, Marchand and Young, as they've been doing a great job of distributing the puck when they're in the offensive zone.
.35 left on the power play for Arizona State. Tillman builds up some speed, chips it in behind the defense. As he and Olsen try to get after it, the Utes will just clap it all the way back the other way. Rodin, an active player of the puck so far tonight. A good job getting that to his defense. One final rush possibly here for the Sun Devils if they can hurry. Marchand across the blue line. Elects to get behind the defense. Head up looking for a pass, a little off balance. He'll throw it back to the point, a little out of the reach of Cade Olsen. And we're back to 5-on-5. Not much going for Arizona State on that power play.
Nope, but again, when you're holding the lead, you're at least lessening the chances of Utah coming back since they have one less guy for 2 minutes.
Lackey across the blue line. Lackey tries to get his shot off. Loses handle of the puck just as he was looking to rip that one. They do say the best defense is a good offense. And right now, Arizona State trying to make that happen. That shot from Tillman, pushed away by Anderson. The Utes come back. 3-on-3 for Utah. Drop pass, the shot. Rodin gets his paddle down, and he'll cover that one. Not getting everything he wanted on that was Jed Arminen fresh out of the box. As Arminen and DeBolk get familiar with each other back behind the net.
Referees, again, keeping a good grip on this hockey game, trying to not let anything get out of hand. And a couple of players were talking to each other behind the net, so it's going to be DeBolt for Arizona State and Arminen for Utah going in the box.
And Arminen, fresh out of the box, will go right back in there and get familiar as he getting a little bit of real estate in the state of Arizona. I might need to ask him for some tips as I'm currently doing a little house hunting myself.
It's a hot real estate market in Arizona right now. I have to imagine similar in Utah. Salt Lake City is a nice area.
For anyone that's still awake in Salt Lake, I'm sure they're enjoying the positive comments you have, Brett. I know that town is keen to get things closed up early. Things still open for business here, though, in Oceanside Ice Arena as we're down inside the final 6 minutes of this game. Those coincidental minors opening the ice up a little bit. Utah would love to take advantage of that.
It's going to be important for ASU to try to sort out their defensive zone coverage, usually man-on-man when it's 4-on-4.
Plurd trips, Landakusik picks the puck up. Rodin forced to make a save. Both teams up into the 30-shot category. Lots of rubber thrown on the net so far tonight. Kruk for Arizona State in the corner. He gets there. Arizona State trying to make the possession play behind their own net and get a breakout going. The ice a little bit choppy down there as the puck bouncing around a little bit. Finally, Arizona State gets in the offensive end. With speed behind the net, Cooch. Cooch stops up, cuts towards the net, loses the puck briefly as he'll skate around the defender. Cooch still on it on his backhand. Off the half wall, up to the point, over to Marchand. Into the middle. Kylie Ram protects the puck. Marchand across the middle. Olsen activates to keep it alive. Olsen. Marchand wanted that one. Pass wouldn't go. Kylie Ram looks off the defender over to Marchand. His shot blocked. And the Utes push that back into the neutral zone. Marchand making a move in front of the net, just out of his reach. He'll try to cycle it down low, gives it right to number 4 for Utah, and Music pushes it ahead. Music back on it now. Backhand, forehand, Rodin with a great save off the stick of Music as he snuck in behind the defense.
Music, the defenseman, was jumping into play, and it's always tough to try to figure out who's going to cover that guy. Usually he's coming from the blue line, so not too many people notice him sneaking in. And with how fast hockey is, that puck can get to Music's stick in a hurry.
Key save there by Dawson Rodin. The offensive zone draw coming here for Utah, as pretty soon we're going to be seeing them putting everything they have trying to get back in this game. Lackey giving chase there. Deemed by the linesman not to be the first one to the puck, and that will be an icing. I know one of your favorite burgers in town, Brett, is the everything but the kitchen sink, and that might be what we see coming here from Utah, as they're going to really need to crank things up a notch if they want to get back in this game and score 2 goals quick. Utah across the line. Nice toe drag shot just over the top of the net. Slams into the glass, works its way into the corner. Studioso takes a hard ride. That puck screams back across the middle of the ice, picked up by number 14, Erdis. He's pushed, however, into the neutral zone, and Utah will have to tag up. Erdis with speed, cuts in the middle. Erdis still on the puck, a shot, Rodin gets his blocker out on that one. Tillman back to Kruk, Kruk gives it away. Plurt, however, blocks the shot, and he'll skate it ahead for Arizona State. The Sun Devils getting a change back behind the play.
Arizona State having some good communication. Even guys on the bench letting the players on the ice know if there's any threats or immediate danger for Utah.
That puck deflects off the stick of a Ute, therefore no icing. Inside of 3 minutes remaining here in the third period. Landakusic across the blue line. Takes a hard check. First one to the puck is Franklin. However, the Utes dig it out. Langenbrunner on the half wall. He gets a stick around. Langenbrunner eating a couple checks, just trying to get some reinforcements to come in and help him. Light on it now for Utah. Light trying to cut into the middle. Plurd pokes that one away. Langenbrunner to Light in front. That shot deflected up over the net. Past Rodin. The Utes' first one's on it. Landakusic swings it down low to Light. Light with the puck. Light trying to make a cut move into the middle. Langenbrunner now will swing it all the way over to the point. Jackson can't handle it. Langenbrunner keeps it alive. And Langenbrunner now will try to skate it back in. Light on it now. In behind the defense, Rodin! A huge save there off the stick of Light, as he had a great look from the middle of the slot.
Utah's an extra attacker right now, down 2. They're going to be a little more aggressive than if they're down 1, as there's only a few times left and minutes left in the game.
You see that empty net for Utah down at the left end of the rink, as we're down to the final 90 seconds of this game. Light up to Langenbrunner. The shot deflected, a save. We have a whistle back behind the play. We'll wait to see what the call is.
It's going to be too many men, as I'm trying to go ahead and count.
Yep, and you can see folks in the camera, there's 6 on the ice for Utah. However, back at that left side of the rink, the captain, Dylan Dix, still on the ice as well. That makes 7. And you love the energy from Utah, trying to get as many on the ice as they can. However, a poor time penalty you know the coaching staff is not going to be happy to see occur here with 1:27 remaining in the game.
There's no short of enthusiasm by Utah, that's for sure, but definitely makes more sense as it seemed like Utah was first to the puck there for the last 15 seconds.
Certainly does. The math, I believe, checks out their partner. And the Sun Devils now with a great opportunity here with the man advantage as they can easily kill this game away with some good puck management. Marchand up the wing, finds Kylie Ram. Ram with speed behind the defense, wanted to get to the front of the net. He gets a hard ride off the puck. At the point, Marchand can't keep it in. Back behind the play, Kylie Ram and Dylan Dix getting familiar with each other. The referee blows this play dead, and I believe we will see coincidentals again. Dix will go to the bench for Utah.
Once again, referees doing a great job of not letting anything get out of hand. Only 59 seconds left for the end of this first weekend for both teams, and just trying to keep it civil on both sides.
Arizona State bench getting chatty Cathy with it right now. This faceoff will come into the neutral zone with 59.2 on the clock. And because of the coincidentals, Brett, we will not see any lack of men on the ice as Arizona State making sure to take note that they were still on the power play as they get that fifth man back on the ice. Studioso headmans it up, trying to find Shaw. Broken up by the Utes. Studioso once again will skate it out, push it ahead to Shaw. 2-on-1. Shaw in, and Shaw blind backhand pass. He had Plurd on the far side, couldn't find him. Utah now a chance to skate in the offensive zone. A 2-on-1 for Utah. Dawson Rodin comes way out of his net to cover that up. Rodin not too happy, getting a hard ride at the end, and he'll give an earful to Utah. Studioso and Land Acoustic getting familiar in front of the net. Things getting a little bit chippy here in Tempe, Arizona.
Even though both teams are mixing it up after the whistle, this is definitely benefiting Arizona State as Utah, still only down 2 goals, have an opportunity to try to come back in this game, but these last couple minutes and change, they've been trying to mix it up and more worried about after the whistle than between the whistles.
And we've seen penalties assessed here to both sides, Brett. As Land Acoustic, Langenbrunner will go to the bench, the box for Utah. However, Studioso was instructed by the referee to go ahead and head back to the locker room for Arizona State. His night is done just a little bit early. Inside the final 30 seconds. Cooch couldn't handle it. Utes will just push it back the other way and rip one up into the ceiling here at Oceanside Ice Arena. With 15.5 left in this game, and Arizona State a mere few seconds away here from opening the season 2-0. Cooch wins the draw. Back to Olsen, he'll button hook. Olsen sees a hard check incoming, gets out of the way of it at just the last second. As the final couple seconds tick off here at Oceanside Ice Arena, and the Sun Devils victorious again for the second time in as many nights. Things interesting back behind the play as Cooch was letting Utah know who won the game here tonight, as the linesman had to step in and break things up. The referees watching closely as the teams will shake hands here to end this game.
Definitely a good effort from Utah in the second game, as this is their third game of the weekend, and when they played GCU, of course, on Thursday night. But Arizona State was up to the task. great weekend for Arizona State, getting off to a really good start to start the season.
And the great tradition that we see so much in hockey here tonight is the handshake line at the end of the series. Certainly all the more impressive given how chippy the end of this game was. Utah really fighting with everything they had tonight to try to get their way back into this game. Arizona State shutting things down for the latter stages of that third period. Doing a good job not to give any grade A opportunities to Dawson Rodin. Rodin had to make the saves he needed when necessary. And Arizona State emerges victorious here tonight. A great start for head coach Austin Klein, as he is 2-0 to begin his tenure here as the head coach for Arizona State. The players saluting the fans who stuck around tonight here and got to see another victory at Oceanside Ice Arena. And the Sun Devils, Brett, as we bring you up inside the broadcast booth here, they start the season 2-0. Pretty much exactly how you would have wanted the season to start. This game maybe a little bit different than what we saw last night between these two clubs. Still just as exciting, though.
Absolutely, and for Arizona State, I think from the difference from this year to last year, they were able to get off to a good start. You can cross that one off the list. As well as I really loved how everybody was playing with each other and the effort they played between both nights, last night and tonight. So it shows all the hard work they've been doing in the offseason of conditioning and really starting the season from the get-go 100%.
They certainly came out of the gates roaring last night. Tonight, maybe a little bit different. We saw Utah really push early in this game and try to dictate the pace of play, which I thought that they did. However, Dawson Rodin up to the task early in his first start of the season.
Yeah, did a great job. This goaltender group, we're looking at it, Blake Biala, Dawson Rodin, Eric Garber, all three of them are returning. It's really unnormal for that to happen, of three returning goaltenders, so it's a really good group, and I think they're all positive with each other, rooting whoever's between the pipes on, and I think that shows within the play of everybody being confident.
A lot of confidence to go around there. A lot of confidence in the forward group. We saw it last night with Tyler Kiley Ram. We saw it with Connor Tillman. And tonight, I thought a great 200-foot effort from Cooch as well.
Yeah, he was good. I also wanted to highlight the bottom line guys, Sean Phillips, Tanner Schultz. Those guys were doing a great job. And Jason Hammond, our cameraman who was here last night, he was able to lace up the skates tonight, did a great job of, again, showing effort, showing intensity, keeping that level up for everybody on the bench to go ahead and go turn the lines over and over again and match that same intensity.
Intensity, the name of the game here. However, I'm going to be looking for a different name from you, Brett. Who is your player of the game tonight?
It's going to be number 9, Clayton Lackey. Arizona State, they didn't dictate the game. That was Utah for the most part. Arizona State was just kind of meeting to it, but it wasn't until that goal scored by Lackey early in the second period. You could see how enthusiastic he was in the goal celebration, and you can hear everybody on the bench cheering, knowing that, hey guys, this is our game, let's go ahead and take it over, and they did, scoring those 3 goals early in that second period.
And after Arizona State got out to that lead in the second period, they did not relinquish that the rest of the night, Utah getting one back. However, Arizona State staying strong to wrap things up and get their second win of the season here tonight. For my partner, Brett Vaughn, I am Niall Cooper, and we'd like to thank a few special people here before we head out. Our cameraman tonight was the one and only Keanu Deguchi. Our statistician was Johnny V. Vaughn. Our technical director was the Doc Cooper. And our producer back at Network Central, bringing things together tonight for us, was Justine Cooper. A great job by you, Justine. One more time tonight, the final score, Arizona State 3 and the visiting University of Utah Utes 1. Arizona State goes on the road next week to play Oregon in a 2-game series up in Eugene. And until next time here at Oceanside Ice Arena, we're going to say so long on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube.